Hello everyone, I am Deflesh3004. Welcome back to Space Engineers 2. So they added something in the game that I wanted to show you, and you can see a little bit of a screenshot right there, this classic survival. I am going to show you something that we can do, and I'm going to do a little series on this, or so I hope. I'm hoping it's going to work out good, and we can go and see. So the first thing you're going to do is click on New Game. Click on that, and you're going to go all the way over to Worlds, and we're going to click on that, and then we're going to click on this one right up here. This is Classic Survival, and we're going to go see. This is not going to have any of the intro stuff or anything, you know, where you crash the ship and you talk to your brother and all of that stuff. This totally bypasses that and just has you start on the planet Verdure. So we're going to do that. We're not going to do any mods, and we're just going to start up a new game. Start on Verdure with nothing. Progression is unlocked, and all currently available fast travel lanes are open. So let's just go ahead and jump into this, and we'll see what we can do. Alright, so we just got started. We have just landed right here. It just starts right here, with right next to this pod that you crash on the planet with. It is going to be a little choppy for a little bit as it gets everything, you know, loaded and stuff. So there is no talking to your brother. There is no, you know, stations to find that are really close by or anything like that. We are just starting on a planet with pretty much nothing. We have nothing in our inventory. As you can see, we just have our basic tools, and then we have our crashed ship here, our pod that we came down with. There is nothing in there. There is no way to get resources. There's a battery there, and that's all that there is. There is nothing else here. So we need to see if we can begin like making something. And I did try to record a video, and I didn't understand what was happening here, and I didn't really get it. So I started another campaign, you know, of this, and I actually played it, and I actually got some things done. So I want to show you what you need to do. It's not as easy as following the game. I think it's a lot easier if you just go to the regular game. But in any case, what you can do is, so you have your pod, it'll always show up. You'll see the drop pod. You can actually get ores ridiculously easy. You don't even have to go to where it says like nickel right there or iron. You can go anywhere. Right now we're just going to come over to this hill, and we're going to start drilling. And as you do, you're noticing that we're getting iron and nickel. So in the dirt, so the dirt's going to be the brown, and then the stone right here is this. And you can see that we're getting nickel from this right here. So that's actually really good. I do like that. And again, in the dirt, you only get iron. So that's good. And then you can get a whopping lot of iron pretty quick. You can still get it a lot quicker if you actually do go to like places like where it has the iron and all that stuff listed. You can get it a lot easier. So let's go over to C. We just have to go find it, and you kind of gotta make sure you're in a good place to get it. Probably going to get down here a little bit, and then I'm just gonna start digging in, and I'm gonna go see if I can find wherever the iron in, and I'm just using the right mouse button so I can just drill a quick hole so I can get down there as quickly as possible. I'm nearly to the iron. Now I'm going to start using the left one and start getting some resources. Do be careful. You can clip through the ground. Just so that you know, when you start seeing that, you definitely want to back up a step or so. So that way, you know, you're not getting too close in the ground. So we're almost to the iron. We just got to go a little bit further. Oh, back up, back up. So it kind of does go back and forth. You can still clip through the terrain, just so that you know. It's best to kind of clear out over your head too, so you're not looking through the terrain. Now, the iron is right over there. We did get a little bit of iron from up there somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but we did. As you can see, we're getting some iron now, so that means that we're actually in a good place. Again, there is some tearing of like this, so you got 300 iron right there. So that's actually good. Yeah. So again, back here you can get like a whopping lot of iron. And then once you do, you can really start doing some things. We do need a lot of iron. This is Space Engineers. You know, you're going to need more iron than you think that you ever do, but you should be okay once you start getting some. And again, getting it is not a big deal. It's ridiculously easy to get. So I'm going to gather a bit of iron and nickel, and then we'll see if we can get also some silicon. After doing a little bit of digging, I now have 4,300 iron and 425 nickel. Now, where is the way out? There it is, all the way up here. And I just make my way back out. I don't know of a way to use a GPS to find these locations again because it's changed so much with this, you know, new game and stuff. I just don't know where all the GPS stuff is, and that's one of the biggest problems, but I'm sure that we'll be okay. So we can come over to the drop pod, and the first thing I'm going to do is try to find some silicon. And I did watch like a little bit of a video to, you know, see how to actually do this new thing. There may be POIs around and stuff that you can find, you know, the crashed ships or whatever, you know, abandoned bases or whatever. You can find those around, I guess, from what I have seen, but I'm not really too sure. So when I did it, I did not have much luck, and so I was a little upset with, you know, trying so hard and not really getting anywhere. And if you think that you are going to just go over there and get ice and all that stuff, I'll tell you right now, you're probably not. The ice doesn't look that far away. You'll run a good portion of the way over there, and you won't make it because your energy will run out before you can actually get all the way there. And then you have to make it all the way back. So we are going to have to build a ship, and we're going to start doing that in a little bit, but first we have to get down off of here. You can fly, but flying uses a lot of energy, and I did actually fly about halfway there and realized I wasn't going to make it. So just do be aware of that you can. It's just going to be a lot. Now, I am going down this hill because there's a reason, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. These places down here are actually really good for like finding iron and stuff like that. But right now, if you notice my energy on the left side, the second bar down, it is going down pretty quick. Flying takes a lot of energy, and so you're not going to make it over to that ice no matter what you do. It just isn't going to happen. In any case, I'm going to go down here, and what I saw in the video, I didn't know, we can probably find silicon, but there's a good way to get silicon, and if you come all the way down here, you can actually get quite a bit. So you want to come down to the sand. Okay, there's a silicon right there. That's going to help, and then once you buy the sand, you know, which is that light brown stuff down there, then you can actually get a lot of silicon. Let me go see if I can actually get a closer way to get to that silicon. So if I can just drill into the mountainside, that would be a heck of a lot easier. And then we can actually get it pretty easy. I'm almost to the silicon, and again, I'm just using the right one just to drill a hole. That way I can at least get to it. There we go, silicon right there. Hopefully there will be a good amount, and then we can actually get quite a bit, because we're going to need it for a few things. Now, we're already getting quite a bit of silicon. That's awesome. That does help. I'm going to gather this, and then we'll head back to the pod. And I'll show you the beach or the sand area, too, so you can, you know, get it from there as well. Well, how do you like this? I have 666 silicon. I guess that would be considered inherently bad, but, you know, hey. It's only the number for this game right now, so just thought that was interesting how I stopped right there. That was crazy. So I'm getting quite a bit of silicon and also nickel and stuff like that. The nickel is always going to be with the rock, and that's something, you know, you do have to watch out for. And of course, if I want to get back out, I can always dig my way back out. There is a little bit of more silicon down here, but it's getting real sparse now, so I'm not finding anywhere near as much as I was. It isn't like the base game Space Engineers where you can find infinite amounts of it, you know, all over the place. to an extent. You can find pockets, but it's not as plentiful as it would seem. All right, we got that done. Now let's go down here and let's go see about this sand down here. Once you start digging into it, you're going to find some silicon. Again, it's kind of like the dirt. You're only going to get like 10, maybe 15 at a time, but you are going to get silicon, and you will end up getting quite a bit of silicon because, you know, this dirt is, you know, the sand is really good for silicon. Now, there is also some rock, apparently, that is... looks like this lighter brown stuff down here. It's supposed to be a little bit better, but from my understanding it is not. So let's go see. Again, I'm getting about the same amount, 7 to 10 per time. Oh, a little bit of iron too. How do you like that? So there's the sand and the rock, these pebblets, you know, that looks like river rock or whatever. So yeah, you can get a lot of stuff from there, and apparently iron too. That's great. Okay, so right now we have like 1,000 silicon, a little bit more iron, and 654 nickel. So our inventory is getting fairly full, and again, we're nowhere close to those mountains. Let's get back up to our pod, and we're going to start going to see if we can build some stuff while we still have some daylight left. And I don't know how far we're going to get yet. We will have to go see, because it's going to take a little while to get something built. Just getting back to the drop pod. So one of the things that this classic survival does is it doesn't hold your hand. If you have never played Space Engineers, you're going to struggle with this. So if you have not played the game that has all the instructions and tutorials and all that to get an understanding, and then come into this so you can, you know, do a lot more stuff. Okay, with that being said, let's go to our G menu, because a lot of stuff has been unlocked. Everything that we can unlock right now has been unlocked, so that's good. And we want to start making some things. So we're going to start with pretty much, we want to do production. So let's just go ahead and start with a smelter. We're going to place that down, and we're probably going to have to find a place to where we can actually build a ship somewhat safely. So I think this will actually probably work out pretty good if we kind of put him next to here. We just need to make sure the smelter can be gotten to. So we can do that, and I'm going to hold down Control, and I'm going to press E. There we go. We'll set that guy upright, and then we'll just click the left mouse button, place him. Nope. Click the left mouse button and place him. Don't click the right mouse button, because it'll get rid of it. So now I need to get him back to where I can use him. So I'll hold that again, and I will turn him until I can get him to where I need him to be. There we go. And then I'm going to press this tab or escape. Nope. Okay. Nope, I don't want to do that. I'll get rid of that one. Okay, then I'm going to go to my welder, and this will tell you everything that you need. You just need you need iron, silicon, and nickel, but if you press R, then you'll have to make a whole bunch of stuff. So you probably just want to use the raw resources. Okay, so we'll get this built. It'll put in the silicon last. Okay, and now we have the smelter. So the smelter is going to help us out. It is not a huge inventory. It's as big as our backpack. So you're not going to be able to put in a whole whopping lot of stuff. So it has the input for all the raw, and then it has the output for, you know, the things that you make. So if you go Control Shift, you can take over 1,000 of anything at a time. And that's good. And then we'll just go ahead and drop all of that stuff in. So that way we have that, and I'm just probably going to move a bit more iron. Don't ask me why I double stacked that. Okay, so we have that now, so now we have a whole bunch in there. We're going to have a whopping lot of iron, as you know, because that sounds like a lot, but it is not, and I'm going to have to go gather some more. Keep up your energy, you're going to need it. And we are going to go look to see if there's any way that we can get some energy on here for another thing. So let's go to G again. We're going to go to energy, and we're just going to go and place down a solar panel. Drag that to your bar. Press the corresponding number, and we're just going to see. So the sun is right above us. And try, if you build 2 of these, try not to let them overlap, because you have to figure out a way to destroy them, and that's going to be a problem. And so we're not going to, want to do that. Okay. Place one there. Go to my welder. And then I can get this built as soon as I can kind of get up to it. Let me just go ahead and fly and get up there so I can have an energy source. Oh, silicon, okay. We can do that. That's not that big of a deal. We'll just grab, if you use shift, you'll take like 10. If you use control, you will take 100, and shift control takes 1,000. So, you can do it like that. We won't need a lot, but we will go and get whatever we can. As long as it's working, that's the main thing. And we're going to need a little bit more. So I'll go and take a couple of 100 more. That should be more than enough. Okay, so now we have the solar panel. And then that will provide energy for this guy, keeping the battery charged. And it will help out with everything else too. We don't have any batteries in there right now, because we can, we just don't have a way to do it. Go to here, go to production, and you can make a whole bunch of stuff in here, but you gotta have certain things like chromium. We gotta find gold somewhere to make things, to make bigger stuff, and of course wire. But for right now, I'm not gonna get too worried about that. I'm gonna gather iron for a little bit, let this guy kind of make sure he's good and charged, and then I'll come back and we will see if we can start building something to help ourselves out. Right now, I do have a bit of iron. I have 8,000 iron. That's going to help. Now, we just need to see if we can, start setting up something to be able to make some sort of a vessel so we can actually get around and start doing some exploring. We will have to go to Validation Station at some point in time in the near future, so we got to think about that for the future. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to G. And then I'm just going to select the light armor. And I'm just going to go put that on my bar. And then I'm just going to use the small one. Let me go back to here. And I really don't want that big one. I want to use that, just the regular square. And right off the side of here, I'm just going to go ahead and start building something. And we're just going to start seeing about starting to build a ship. It's probably going to not be a very big ship, and it isn't going to be very pretty. I can tell you that much right now. But I just want to get this started so that way we at least have something to go on. And I'm going to start building all of these pieces. And so you cannot build a piece here without building a piece there. They all have to be attached to one another. So, again, I can't build that, but I can build this one. And then once I even get that started, then I can build, the other ones, because I basically want to make a place that I can begin making my ship from. And that's what I'm looking for. So we're going to go back to number 6. And again, this thing's not going to be very pretty or anything, but it's going to hopefully do what we need to do. I'm going to extend this out a little bit more and make a frame, and then we'll start adding some more pieces to it as soon as we can. I have a frame started. Now what I want to do is I want to go back to G, and I want to go see about putting on like some sort of thing so I can begin moving around. Control is what I'm looking for, and I want to go and just put on like a cockpit. So I'm just going to drag that guy to number 7 for right now. And then I'm going to have to turn this guy around. So again, hold down control and then use your Q, E, W, A, S, D buttons. And I guess A is going to be the one. Once you get him where you want him, it's going to be a little bit wider than what I need, but I can always take it down a little bit later and worry about it then. And maybe what I will do is actually just put it like where there's a little bit of room on one side, and then I can take down the other side as soon as I can get some stuff built. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to G and try to get some other things in. So again, for power, I am going to probably have to put in a battery, because that's going to really help me out the most. So let me just go ahead and stick that guy in there. And then I'm going to figure out the best way to put him, because we're going to have energy for that anyway. So I can do it like that. And figure out how I'm going to get this guy to go in there. Okay, and then that should work. And I'll just line him up with that back there. We won't need oxygen or anything since we are on the planet. And then G one more time. And let's go see if we can actually get on like a cargo container. I think that would be really good. Let's drag that guy to 9. And I am going to go see. Okay, that'll work. That'll actually be good. Let me get down here. Now again, you can walk through this stuff really easy because, you know, there's nothing there yet. What I want to do is go and see about putting in this cargo container. So we'll put him up about like that so we can actually still access him. And then we're just going to put him in there. Okay, so this is going to be the basics of what we need right now. And then what I'm going to do is just fill in a good portion of this. I'll build what I need to. And then, of course, this stuff way out here, I didn't know exactly how big I should build it. But, you know, I want to leave some room on the sides for, you know, I need GPS or, you know, the gyroscope and thrusters and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to have to leave some room there. Probably want at least, what, 2 spaces it looks like on either side. Looks like there's actually just 1, but I can actually make that 2, and then I will have a little bit of room to work with, but I'll even see what happens there. So that should actually work out pretty good. Now let me get to building, and again, I'll take out what I don't need to, and that should work, and I'm just going to get this framed for right now, and then I can worry about what I'm going to do after a little bit. Okay. Something important to notice and note if you are building like a thing like this or anything and you just have these that are the holograms and you do not build them, when you leave your ship, you're going to have these things floating here. So if we were to build a ship and take off and go flying around, any of the holograms are going to stick right here. And so it's going to look really funny and you can't do anything about it. So that's why I said I need to make sure to build these and then I can grind them off and get rid of them. Because it depends on the size of the ship that I want to do. So I just have to make sure I'm just doing a basic building on them. Really not a whole lot. Just enough that I can walk on it. Because I can't walk on those. Because, you know, they're holograms. And it is a little janky and stuff. But, you know, it will work. And we'll be able to get around. You just can't be on the pieces when you're welding them. This way, when I cut things down and I get rid of things, then at least I will be able to, you know, not have all of that stuff just floating in midair. Because when I was doing a test, seeing how it's going to work with the ships, it was really, you know, had a bunch of these pieces floating there. But this way, I can grind that stuff down, get stuff back, and I'll actually get back steel plates. So that's good. For the cockpit, let's just go ahead. We're going to use iron and silicon. We should have more than enough. We don't have, yeah, we'll have enough to do that. And since you don't have to really make, you know, all the individual pieces, you can later on, which we will have to later on, I'm sure, for other projects. But at least we do have that. Now we can get into the cockpit and you can see that. And then I can use Alt, turn around, get really close in. But I'm still going to be above it, so, you know, there is that. And I can get out and we can begin building this other stuff. So we're definitely going to need the battery. I'm going to build that up all the way and it should be hopefully charging. That's my hope. And then we'll see what happens. And again, the cargo container, I'm going to have to get some nickel and then we can get that done. And the nickel's actually easy, you know, because all you need is the stone and stuff. But I think we have some in storage. And I need to make sure that up underneath here it is fully built, because if not, you know, I'm going to have problems when I go taking off. Okay, and then just build up all of the parts all the way till you have like the solid blocks. It doesn't really take a whole lot, 16 kilograms. We have a lot of iron, so that's okay. And then you can build these blocks in any order that you want to once you have them partially built. So you can, you know, do a block over here and a block over there, whatever you want to do. Right now I actually built the battery upside down, so what I'm going to have to do is actually flip it over And then we'll see, because that says battery upside down right there. And then I cannot get to these battery things. I had to take out the cargo container. So I'm going to get this reworked. Did get that rebuilt. Now the battery's at the front where I can actually see it. And then I can get, of course, to the power module. Now I can go ahead and put this guy right back in again. I want to get this guy in so I can use him again. Let me just go into control and... there we go, and then I can get him placed. Now, I may need a second battery. I really don't know. We will just have to go and see. And if I press R, then I can use the pieces that I have in my inventory, and then I can build this guy. Okay, cool. Now we have that. And then I'm going to have a little bit longer than what I originally anticipated, but that's okay. It isn't going to hurt anything, and then we can see about putting on some more stuff. So I'm gonna have a gyroscope and different things. I don't know if I'm gonna have to have a second battery or not. I really don't know how much power this thing is gonna take. It's probably gonna take more than I think it is, but for right now what I'm gonna do is just go and start placing some of the other stuff that we need. So I can go back to G, and then I can just take off this stuff and I can begin getting some of the other stuff on that I need. So I'm going to be placing a gyroscope, and I think I'm just going to place him. I could put him in here between the battery and the cockpit. That way, just in case, you know, I were to need him for something, and then I can still get to that over there. So let me just go ahead and do that, and hopefully this will help. I may have to put in a second one. I really don't know, but we will have to go see. All right. Now, there is power on here, and I'm going to have to build, I forgot one more thing we're going to need for sure, and that's going to be some sort of power for here. So let me go in and see if I can get this part filled out, because the more that we have, the better off we're going to be, you know, as far as keeping ourselves powered, because we're going to need extra stuff just to keep ourselves going. I got that solar panel retrofitted. Hopefully it'll work out good. We'll have to find out. Now, for movement, we are going to just need pretty much the atmospheric thrusters. So I think I'm going to take off the smelter, and then we'll put on the atmospheric thrusters, so we have them. And then we have to basically have them go in all the different directions, of course, as you know. So we're definitely going to have a couple of them go backwards. Probably on both sides, just to, you know, make sure we don't go too fast. Some are definitely going to have to go down, so we're going to have to figure out a good place. We could put those up and down, basically up, so we can have those guys. As long as those fans are facing up, then we're okay. So we're gonna have to do it like that, and probably put on a couple on each. That's wrong. So now I have to get this guy redone. There we go. So I want those thrusters. Okay, why does it keep on going the opposite way? That's what I really want to know. There we go. And then we're going to have to put a whole bunch of these guys around, and I'm going to have to grind off those other pieces. And then back here, this is going to be the problem part, because now we're going to have to, you know, basically work around this guy right here to, you know, make all of this work. Now, for those guys, I do believe that we're going to be able to just use with the parts that we have. So I'll press R again, and we should be able to get these thrusters built. Now, we're going to need all the thrusters in a different direction, like I said. It's not going to be a very pretty ship. I'll worry about that later. We just need to go out and get stuff like gold, and we're going to have that cobalt and different things like that, because we're going to have a whopping lot of that stuff. Let me get back up on top and get that done. This is going to be a funky looking ship for a little bit, but then once we start going, you know, it should be okay. All right, so I did put some landing gears on. There's one block sticking down holding the landing gears. So that way, hopefully we will be able to be okay. I'm gonna have to get myself recharged. And hopefully this will be able to charge up the battery on here and everything should stay good. And we do have some room in the inventory. We're gonna have to take some extra stuff just in case we have to build some more thrusters. I'm only gonna put on the small ones for now. I think that should work. And again, we're gonna have to have power with that, but hopefully this will help us to at least get around the planet a little bit. Now we just gotta go and do the deed, and that deed is we gotta cut this. So I'm hoping this will work. So let me go ahead and do a quick save, and then we will see. One thing that I do recommend with this game is turn off the autosaves, especially if you're doing this, because it will only load what save is the last save. So save it manually and turn off the autosaves. I just did a minute ago, because if you don't, it's going to load up the last save that you have, and there is no like drop down for other saves. Alright, let's go see. There should be enough thrust, and what I'm going to do is come to here, and let's go and cut this one right here. Okay. Ooh, well, this looks like it might be working. Let me go ahead and make sure I get rid of these. That way we will know. And I believe that it's going to work. Yay! Alright. We are now in our ship. We are sitting almost on the ground, so that's good. Now, what I want to do is do a little bit of a test just to make sure that we can actually go somewhere. It's not going to have enough thrust yet. Okay, so that's something we're definitely going to have to look at, is getting some more thrust. It just doesn't have enough thrust. So I am going to lock that, and let's go ahead and get out. I wasn't too sure if it did or not, so now that I know that it does not, we're definitely going to have to get some more on there, and we have to figure this out. Right now, I kind of have a little bit of a problem. I do have the ship done and everything, so I got some more thrusters on, and right over here, I also have a ore detector. But there's something that I need, and I don't have wire. And so I'm trying to make wire, but because I don't have any energy coming in, because the sun's gone, I'm not able to make it in here. So if you go to the production, it has the production queue, but block is unpowered until, I restore power. I can't restore the power because the sun isn't out right now. I can still use this. Now, if I had batteries or something hooked up to here, maybe I could, because I think there's only one battery there, but I didn't hook up a battery. So right now, I'm not going to be able to do anything. I also did put on lights on here, and I'll show you that real quick, and then we will see what happens. So if I get in and I press Y, then I'll get back out, and you can see that I do have quite a few lights on here. Again, it is not a pretty ship at all in any way, shape, or form. The solar panels mainly for energy to keep the batteries going and all of that. But what I want to do is go ahead and give this another quick save, and then we will give this a try and see if we can actually go around somewhere. Okay, it's now saved. Now let's get in. And then if I press P to unlock it, let's go ahead and go. Oh, sweet. Now we can go up in the air. Yay! We can go forward, backwards, and side to side. Okay, cool. So we do have enough thrust now, and that is good. I put on a second one of the gyroscopes. So we have that. I'm still not able to, really do much in the way of searching for ores, but we can at least move around now, and that's good. I'm actually going to kind of come down here so I can kind of see where I'm going, because wrecking this is going to cost quite a bit to get this thing rebuilt, and we really don't want to have to do that if we can at all help it. I also have to be careful about my angles, because as you know, the more the angle, the less chance we're actually going to survive things. But for right now, I think this is actually going to work. And our drop pod is right down there. So we have our first ship that we can actually fly right now. It is not very pretty, but I guess it will work for what we have, and we're just gonna have to probably wait to go somewhere, but we do have it, and that's really what matters. Let me go and see about getting this guy landed again. Just roll out just a little bit so I can see. And just press C to go down. And then once you get down to where, you know, you're on the ground, lock it in place. Okay. And then I'll just go ahead and get out. We can actually take a look at our ship here and actually see what the heck is going on. I just put interior lights on it because I didn't want to use the spotlights for right now. In any case, we do have a gnarly looking ship, I do gotta say. But, you know, to begin, that's the way that we want it. And this is pretty awesome. So now we have a interesting ship, and I think that that'll actually work out pretty good. So we are going to probably do a series on this. I would like to do a series on this with you, you know, so you can see what's going on here. I don't know about much of anything with these worlds other than you don't have any hand holding. There is really not much that you're going to be able to do to, you know, guide your way. You're just going to have to do the game and figure out what things are. Luckily, it's just like the regular Space Engineers, so everything works in the same way if you've ever played that. And if you have, you know, let me know. I think that's always interesting to play Space Engineers. It's one of my favorite games, as you know. And let me know what you think about our gnarly looking ship here. It's just a beginner, but it will begin to get stuff that we need, and hopefully we can find the gold, and then we can get ice so that we can begin making some other things, and hopefully we will be okay there. So this is Space Engineers 2. We are on a world, which is basically, it's kind of a mod, you might say, that they put in the game. They're testing it to see what people think about it. And so if you want to get in on, you know, giving some feedback and stuff like that to see, that way you can know. Just know that you're probably going to start in a basic area like this, because this is the second or third time, and I've started in the same area with the ice being way over there and no way to get to it, because if you run, you're going to run out of energy no matter what you do. So do be aware of that. And in any case, if you enjoyed this episode, drop a like on the video, and I will talk to you next time. You have a great day, and I will see you later.